With the holiday season comes some fun opportunities to get creative.
This morning, we're joined by the owner of Cultivated In Love, Landy Schwiegert, to show us some holiday charcuterie that you can make at home. Thank you for joining us again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Some smelling good
I'm
stuff
hungry.
in front of us.
This is making me so hungry. It's early, but yum.
You know what? There's any time for charcuterie, right?
And the holidays are the perfect time for hosting and charcuterie. So
Yes.
what are some of your tips and tricks for doing it at home?
So what I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about today is actually a charcuterie. So what I like to do, the cool thing about Christmas is you can make fun designs, kind of go with the season. I make trees, you can do kind of whatever you want. But to start out, so one of my secrets that I can show you here is if you take a look, I have this cute little brie. I actually just cut it in half, and then I take a cookie cutter and I cut out any kind of Christmas shape. You can use any kind of, Christmas themed cutter. And I usually use that as the center of my charcuterie wreath. You can leave it blank as well and kind of fill around, but I just like things to be nice and full. Another thing the next thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna take different kinds of herbs. I'm using rosemary because I feel like it looks the most wreath-ish. And I just kind of go all the way around my little wreath. Just kind of make it. Yeah.
Wow.
The cool thing about charcuterie is that, number one, it doesn't have to be perfect. And actually what I've discovered is the people that are a little less OCD actually have the coolest boards.
Yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
Our next trick that I have is that when you're picking out different cheeses, a lot of the things in season right now are going to be more like your cranberries, lots of sharp cheddars, things that are more like bright red, that kind of stuff. So I have some different kinds of cheese here. I've got a cranberry Westendale, which is really in season right now. But again, the really cool thing about charcuterie is that you get to decide what your family likes. So you can use basic cheeses as well, and that's okay.
Yeah. And the variety too is really
Yeah.
great. So you can kind of have something for everybody at the table.
Exactly. That's actually kind of why I love what I do, just because there is always something for everyone. So I usually lay out some of my cheeses and kind of start filling in with different meats. Again, we like to kind of keep things just kind of spread out. Another key thing to charcuterie is just spreading out your colors, right? So you don't want to put a bunch of white stuff next to white stuff, a bunch of meat next to meat. You just want to spread it out and kind of make it look pretty.
Yeah. And you have kids who are super into charcuterie as well.
I do.
Can you tell us maybe some tips for creating a charcuterie board that's going to be kid-friendly?
So again, I would say you kind of have to know what your crowd likes, right? But my girls specifically, they like lots of cheddars, things that pepperoni, just things that are more kid friendly.
Yeah.
Kids like fruit usually. And they also like to dip. So you can add different dips, you can add different different kinds of fruit, kind of whatever your kids like. My girls are a little more bougie, so
They've been around it for a while.
They're getting creative.
Yep.
How great is it to have just a set like this out on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or kind of whenever you're gathering with your family?
So it's amazing. Number one, it's just a great little snack. And number two, everybody likes a good aesthetically pleasing Christmas. I don't care who you are. It's a thing.
If you can take pictures with it.
Exactly.
It goes perfect on the table.
Yes.
So if there's one thing that people should kind of keep in mind or remember as they're building their charcuterie boards for their parties or their families, what would that be?
Make sure you spread out your colors, and then make sure you just have a variety. You don't want a bunch of the same thing. I like different textures. That's one of my rules as well. I usually do different hard cheeses, soft cheeses, medium cheeses. And I know that sounds really overwhelming, but if you go to the store, you can kind of see what's what on the label as well. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Absolutely.
Looks
Thanks
delicious.
so much.
Fun. Yeah, and it
Hoping I
smells
can kind
so
of
great.
try a little bit of it. Well, we're going to be right back after the break.